All right, listen up. Flavored air is becoming the go-to alternative for anybody looking to break habits, and leading this movement is Fume. This is a nicotine-free, non-toxic device, and it's super easy to use. There's no battery. There's no vapor. There's not even anything to charge. Fume is sleek, it's high quality, and it's perfect for anybody looking to try something new while working on ditching some old habits. They got flavors like orange vanilla and crisp mint. There's no guilt. It's just pure flavor. Fume works in part because it helps to replace your hand-to-mouth fixation, calming tension through fidgeting. The holidays are here. This is a gift that people will love unboxing. Now here's the deal. Head to tryfume.com/Chael. Enter the promo code Chael, and they're going to send you, from me, a free Fume topper when you order a journey pack. And if you're lucky, you might even win one of their limited edition gold-plated devices this holiday season. So what are you waiting for? Go to tryfume.com/Chael. Or if you want, just scan the QR code. I put it right there on the screen. You can make somebody's holiday great this year with Fume. I spent some time with Tom Aspinall, and first off, let me tell you, he is beautiful. When do you ever get to use that word? You like to use that word about yourself, right? How often do you actually get to use that word? I'm looking, I said, Tom, I can't believe what is going on. I reached over, and I'm touching. Guys do this. I reach up and I'm grabbing right, and I'm grabbing him right up here, and I'm grabbing his bicep, and I'm trying to size it up because he is the most well-proportioned athlete in the UFC. That includes Jon Jones. Well, here, I'll give you guys a great example. Talk about proportion. Your height to your muscle. Then you don't want too much muscle. You don't want too much muscle in one place. It'll slow that one place down. Right? Teddy Atlas was talking about for boxers. And this was like 25 years ago. I heard Teddy say this. But he said there's only one question in boxing for weightlifting. Is it a bad idea or is it a really bad idea? And, so you see those guys, like, I remember being a kid, whoever was strongest was the toughest guy, but you see those boxers, they don't have any muscles on them. And the reason for that is they believe it slows them down, and they believe that accurately. It does slow you down. So I'm just sharing for you, like, if you were to look at the body composition of George St. Pierre, he would look the way that you wish that you looked, and it was perfect for a dynamic athlete. Think about an airplane, right? Think about it being aerodynamic for it to get through the air, and the beauty and the precision to the shape of that plane. And I swear to goodness, Tom Aspinall was an airplane. He had the arms, he had the traps, but he's also going 6'4". He's got the ass on him. He's got the legs, the kind of guy that can really take a shot. Look, a line came out last night, and it put Tom as a favorite over Jon Jones, and it was only slight. It was like a minus 120, I believe. These are my own partners, DraftKings, but I believe they did minus 120. So that's close. That's what I usually refer to as even money, but you still have right a fence. You fall on one side of it. It put a line up for a mythical fight against Pereira. Jon Jones was a 6-1 favorite. In fact, 625. So, just to tell you the discrepancy in those lines, because if you want to know one interesting fight that's a really close, boy, it's kind of hard to see, and it's Pereira versus Aspinall. Right, but if they have a common opponent in Jon Jones, even on a betting line, and they are that far off, I would just be curious. I wish DraftKings would have posted it. What would a line with Aspinall and Pereira be? All right. Food for thought. Something for another day, but I am convinced that DraftKings had that pocketed. I'm convinced that they had that line, and it was pocketed to be released after the fight. And I'm convinced that they had one for Stipe as well. Stipe versus Tom. Stipe versus Aspinall. That's what I believe. I don't believe that they watched the fight, took that into account, and then put out that line. It'd be very interesting to know if I'm right or not. Because what'd they see? The Jon Jones that you saw last night will not be the Jon Jones that fights Tom Aspinall. Not if that fight goes off by, say, June of next year. That's a really good guess, International Fight Weekend. That's a really, really good guess. I'd like to think it's before that, but it's probably not going to be. But either way, that's a 7-month wait. Jon just waited 3 years. Now, I'm throwing the 2 minutes and 31 seconds against Surreal out, but that wasn't a competition, right? That was something else. That was not, they were not competing. So, I mean, what do you think about that? There's no way that that was Jon at his best last night. That just simply would defy logic. Can't be so. Now he takes a lesser layoff, goes in with a stronger opponent. But what did anybody see last night from Jon that they thought was a weakness? It was very believed amongst the locker room that Stipe was the better boxer. But that isn't what was shown last night. And one thing about Jon, and I'm name dropping here for you, but to bring credibility, and Teddy Atlas, I had this conversation with Teddy. And I said, Coach, he's not missing. He's spinning around backwards where he can't even see the opponent. He just has to know where he's at. He's throwing jabs, he's throwing crosses, he's ducking every now and then, he's touching the body. He's not missing, ever. I've never seen Jon miss. I don't think he missed a shot against Stipe. There's not another fight on the card where the guy didn't throw an air ball. Both guys. Winner, loser, any way you want to do it on the card. I do not believe that Jon reached out to touch something and missed. And so the idea that, well, maybe we better boxer, so let's keep in the boxing range. Let's get a little tighter, eliminate some of those kicks. It ended up not being true. So I'm not convinced that we know exactly how good Jon is. And Tom's big, and he's the favorite. Jon Jones has never, in the modern era of Jon Jones, not been the favorite. So he's wanted that. He's wanted that so bad. And I know you watch his interviews, and I know you think he hates it, and he's upset, and people are disrespecting him. He wants to be questioned so bad. He wants that pressure off him on fight week, on fight night. He wants to put himself in a position like he was in when he was a little kid wrestling, where somebody will pat him on the back and say, good job. And it's the only way he can get it. And we learned something about Jon last night too, which is fear serves him. He was scared of Stipe. And I don't mean that he was debilitatingly scared, but he was scared. He respected what Stipe had done. He respected the weight class. And it opened his eyes about this big when he saw Stipe face to face and saw how big of a man Stipe was. 14 pounds of muscle bigger than him. He respected those things. But that fear created an urgency, and I've been in that spot. I've been in that spot before where, man, you get scared and you go and you will put your best performance on. And there's just a lot of things about the Tom fight that are very good for Jon. And I know there's another side to that. And when I spoke to Tom, Tom said, man, he was watching slow motion. He said, I got all the respect for Stipe, but he's simply too slow. And Jon was too slow. Not one of those things. Not one of those spins, not one of those things would have I ever been there. And that is a real reality with youth. It really is. Now, generally you will give that back for size. Like if Tom Aspinall turns out to be the faster of the two, oh, by the way, and he's that big, that'd be something. That'd be something special to see. But the interim champion fights the undisputed champion. There's no way around that. We understand that. But as I told you guys, Tom is not the interim champion the moment the bell rings for Jon Jones. And the media missed that. And now a day has gone by and the media has still missed it. I read articles where Tom is the interim champion. That simply isn't true. And the reason it's relevant that you understand this is you are not guaranteed that fight. It's going to happen. That's the direction and the only direction that Dana is going to go in. But you do have the other option, which is no fight at all. Jon is not going to fight and not fight Aspinall any more than Conor can return against anyone other than Chandler. But there is one other option. right? People love to say this, that I had to do it. He made me do it. It's like, no, he could put a gun to your head. He can't make you do it. You can say no. You can always let him shoot you. That is also an option. And when you learn that line of thinking, I share it with you because you have a job to do to get that fight. And that is to talk about it. And you can do it any which way you want. You can praise Jon. You can insult Jon. You can say that's good money at DraftKings. That's bad money at DraftKings. But you got to be talking about it. You got to get this going. And I know that you will. But I do bring to you that he is no longer the champion, as I did my best to explain ahead of time. Because it is not a matter of the champion into the interim champion. We don't have one anymore. So now it's the champion into a top contender. Well, that's what we have in every weight class. So just make sure, as you look forward to this and you do your part on social media, make sure you know the score correctly. It is the number one ranked heavyweight versus the heavyweight champion. And that makes, in our industry, a lot of sense.